Zama, where I was assigned in September 1968, was a 700-bed hospital with a small pediatric unit of 5 beds and a nursery. There is not, I think, a community in America that would not have been proud and happy to have had our hospital serving it just as it was.
All of us, the general surgeons, the orthopods, the ophthalmologist, and ear, nose, and throat specialists, go down to the landing pad and wait to see who'll get it. Some still in their operating clothes, waiting for the sound of the chopper.
Like entering into the gates of hell. So you see nothing but blood and glass and flames shooting over you. And at that time you just realize that I don't know if I'm going to survive this.
When you really stand back and have time to stop and think, it's just such a tremendous waste of human lives and human limbs, so much suffering involved. My only hope is that it's worth it all.
Our young boys, they were boys when they left Travis and went over. But you wouldn't dare call them a boy on the way back.
Our ancestral unit, the 8169th U.S. Army Hospital, was activated at Camp Beale, California on 20 December 42. In January of 44, the 8169th sailed for New Guinea, saw action in the Philippines, and was part of the invasion fleet targeted for the Japanese mainland, which was fortunately never needed. On 26 September 45, the unit, now the 128th Station Hospital, became the first U.S. Army hospital established in Japan. The 128th admitted its first American patient on 13 October 1945. The hospital served with distinction during the Korean and Vietnam conflicts. In 1966, it was enlarged to 500 beds and designated as U.S. Army Hospital Honshu. In that capacity, it served as the Army Burn Center of the Far East. The hospital received a meritorious unit commendation for its service during the Vietnam era. In November '79, the hospital facility closed. It relocated to become an ambulatory care clinic on nearby Camp Zama. In 1983, the unit was redesignated as Medac Japan and is now serving as the sole Army medical treatment facility in all of Japan. On April 14, 2006, the U.S. Medac Japan Primary Care Clinic was formally renamed as the B.G. Crawford F. Sams U.S. Army Health Clinic and was awarded the Army Superior Unit Award on 28 November 2011.
Vietnam. Our time is 19 minutes, 19 after 6 o'clock in the morning. We have all kinds of good music for everybody on this Dawn Buster for a Monday morning. Hope you will come along and join us. This is your host, Army Specialist Kramer Has, the record man.
In Vietnam, the severity of the wounds were astonishing. And we saw the survivors. They were 17 and 18-year-olds.
All right, who's wounded? All right, give me some cover.
I mean, they were the patients that I was used to taking care of, during my internship and residency. Only now they were blown up and severely wounded. When I looked around, I realized that the whole war was coming to me.
Can you move up? Okay, try and bring it back here. Remember to stop the bleeding.
Mustang Alpha 5, dust off 3-1, over.
5, over.
Roger, it's 3-1. We should be in your location at about 02. Can you throw smoke for us now, over?
Mustang Alpha 5, roger.
I got hit in both legs.
Pop smoke, 4-3. Pop smoke over here.
Right. That's about it.
Ed?
Well, we got 7 months in country now. 3 Purple Hearts. I don't need a 4th.
That everybody that was wounded in Vietnam ended up at Zama.
Hero has stopped making brave jokes now. the shock has worn off and the pain has begun. And in the midst of the firefight, his buddies put Hero on the rescue chopper to a hospital bed and a one-way ticket out of the Vietnam War.
In Saigon, in a remodeled and guarded apartment building, are the headquarters of the Far Eastern Joint Medical Regulating Office. It is staffed by the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force. It is from here that the life of the casualty is guided to the hospital best equipped to handle his particular injury, to the doctor best prepared to heal him.
In Saigon. I've got 2 add-on and a change in destination.
Visibilities will be restricted to 1/2 mile in fog at Taipei. Visibilities will also be restricted to a 1/2 mile in fog in the Yokota Tachikawa area between 1800 and 2200 Zulu today. Weather.
If the wounded get to Japan, though, they'll probably live. The survival rate is an astonishing 98%. Part of it is the medical care and the facilities in Nam, the incredibly fine care and dedication that go into it. But mostly, it's the kind of war we're fighting.
Evac 40627, now we're approaching the run-up area. Will we be cleared on?
Evac 40627, cleared for takeoff.
Shouldn't be too long. One hospital close to home, so shouldn't be too long. Shouldn't be too long. Shouldn't be too long.
On course, on flight path. Over approach lights. Heading 353.
Everything was put here into the Kanto Plains and clustered around the Air Force bases at Tachikawa and Yokota. The Air Force brings our patients in over the mountains in their C-141s. They stay at Yokota overnight at the 20th Casualty Staging Area, where they're stabilized. The burns go to Kashini, the head and spinal cord wounds go to the neurosurgical unit at Drake. OG, for the most part, only takes orthopedic cases. Zama takes them all.
Took your leg off yesterday. Where was the artery? The artery was this leg or the other leg? Your right leg didn't work. You wiggle your toes in your left foot?
I can remember the first mass casualty. We were getting 30 or 40 evacs an hour, and I was sent up to the operating room. And I was still full of myself. And as I was going up to the operating rooms, Colonel Payton, our hospital commander, came by. And I had the nerve and audacity to stop him. I said, you know, Colonel Payton, I'm a pediatrician. I haven't been up in an operating room since medical school. And I think in my heart I expect him to say, that's okay, you know, you don't have to go. But he didn't want to hear that crap at all. I mean, he had these wounded coming in and the place was filling up. And so he put his hand on my shoulder and said, that's okay, Captain, we'll just give you the little wounds. And that's when I said, wow, this is different.
Well, Dennis Aldridge received a metallic fragment wound of the left flank, and he's one of the boys that's very lucky to be alive. When he got here, our x-ray showed this retained large metallic fragment in the left upper lobe.
When I first started seeing things, I reacted, and I was sick. I was ill. After about a month, I think our defenses built up, and if we were going to save lives and if we were going to be any good to ourselves and our patients, we couldn't react emotionally. So we kept our feelings inside. I didn't cry after that.
Loss is a part of pediatrics, but to save them only to see them blown apart or blinded, to help them grow properly only to have their spinal cords transected, or to have them burned to death, puts all the effort in doubt. Suddenly it all seems so foolish, so hopeless. To lose a child at any time along his life is really to lose the whole thing.
They didn't give me any warning. I had to take a gun and join the fray. They said that I must do their fighting.
We'd like to welcome you aboard Flying Tiger Line flight number F2B3 to Benoit, Vietnam.
I must leave my Mary come tomorrow. Go when my place is by her side.
When I first went to Vietnam, I was trying to actually visualize what it was going to be like. I didn't really know. In a way, I was sort of glad to go over there. And I was a little scared too.
My life will never be the same. I must leave my love when day is dawning. Mary in the morning is her name.
Literally thousands of boys were saved, but the effort had its price. After a while, it all seemed so natural, even the blind 17-year-old stumbling down the hallway, or the shattered high school football player being wheeled to physical therapy. At first, when it was all new, I was glad I didn't know them. I was relieved they were your children, not mine. These kids were so brave, they endured so much, they were so uncomplaining that you couldn't help but feel proud of them.
And now they are home.
Command Sergeant Major John R. Smith. I was originally the Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Hospital Camp Zama, and when the U.S. Army Medical Command Japan was formed, I was appointed the Command Sergeant Major of U.S. Army Medical Command also as the first Command Sergeant Major.
My name is Frank M. Gwynn, retired rank as Sergeant Major, E9. When I was stationed here, I was first personnel clerk, and then I got up to be an admin sergeant. I was doing basically the admin work of ensuring people, when they rotated back to the United States, got their new assignment. It was very hectic because, you know, that was one of the major times during the Vietnam War. We went up and just before I got here, the hospital went down to less than a 40-bed. I think it was going down to just a dispensary with 3 or 4 beds. And in a matter of months, we went up to 1,000 beds.
The Vietnam War was the worst part, where we were getting as many as, in Japan, as many as 1,000 patients a day out of Vietnam. The great abundance of patients were coming in daily into Tachikawa and Yokota and coming into the Zama, and so it was a lot of work, really a lot of work.
メディカルラブで病院のホスピタルラボトリーですね、臨床検査やって、そこで患者さんの当時ベトナムですから、その患者さんが毎日野戦病院と同じでしたよね。もう1日100人とか150人、それを血液毎日取ってましたから、それで今度患者のリストを作って全国へ出すんです。その頃タイプですから。朝まで出来上がらないと間に合わなくて。
This is big. Can't believe they'd ever built that much since we left here.
Everything, even not only here but everywhere else, is so improved. so much more here that it's hard to think that we spent so much time in this area.
406 Med Lab was the last thing I saw. But I guess that building's been torn down as well. The only thing that you can even recognize that may be something resembling some of those large trees over there, that's about the only thing you can recognize that may be related to that.
It's very special because I was born here, and some of the staff here were actually here when I was born. So to come in the medical facility now at Camp Zama and actually come back here with the hospital staff that happened to be working here when I was born is just very exciting. It's just very exciting.
Oh, this is tremendous. It's tremendous to come back home, so to speak. Because we were hard-working people, we played hard, we played sports hard, and we were very close together, the Japanese employees and our military, U.S. military people. So coming back and getting together like this, it's just great.
私たちすぐ隣にあるキャンプザムの在日米陸軍軍楽隊のブラスバンド、アンド・サムズ・オール・アメリカン・ブラスバンドでございます。よろしくお願いします。
Today we have seen what is behind the swift and efficient movement of patients from hospitals in Vietnam to the other service hospitals in the Western Pacific. JAMRO, in its performance of duty, is helping to fulfill the goal of medical evacuation, in that it is administratively controlling the evacuation of patients to provide for complete treatment, convalescence, and return to duty of armed forces personnel.